Well, good morning. You're watching Morning at NTV. Service delivery in the health sector is what Reality on the Ground was checking. Of course, the case of Chirudu Hospital. You're with me, Flavia Tumsima, and of course, our hashtag is Morning at NTV. And I am joined by Janet Komagum Opota, who is the Natural Plan Coordinator. Now, this is the Uganda Episcopal Conference. Yes. From the Uganda Catholic Medical Bureau. Just explain to me which is which.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah.
Uganda Episcopal Conference is the, I should say, it's the umbrella of the Catholic Church. It is the head office of the Catholic Church
in Uganda.
Uganda. So Uganda Catholic Medical Bureau is a health department under the Uganda Episcopal Conference.
Right.
So it handles the health activities of the church.
Of the Catholic Church.
Exactly.
Of course, that ideally means, Janet, that you're going by the Catholic standards of, for example, today we're talking about family planning awareness.
Yes.
So which means the Uganda Catholic Medical Bureau must follow the, because I'm raised Catholic, so I'm very passionate about this one. And I know what the church tells me, and sometimes what the church tells you versus reality is also different. You're in a real world, isn't it? And you know that sometimes that is different. So you are a natural plan coordinator. Natural plan, in my mind, I'm thinking wellness, natural methods.
Yes.
Is that what you do?
The natural plan, the title, by title, actually, should have been the Natural Family Planning Project Coordinator.
Yes.
But, so the Natural Plan Coordinator, basically, I coordinate the Natural Family Planning Project, which is promoting the fertility awareness methods.
Is this a new project?
Today.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's new.
It's been running on since 2014.
2014, yes.
Yeah, to date.
Okay, so and your activities as a Natural Plan Coordinator are only in the Catholic Medical Bureau. So where is your reach? Countrywide? Are you just here in Kampala?
We are actually promoting natural family planning in a number of the UCMB facilities. UCMB facilities in total is 294. Wow. But the project has been able to reach 7 hospitals and 47 lower level facilities. So a total of about 54 facilities, if we can say. And the facilities are spread all over the country. But of course, when it comes to natural family planning, it entails a number of things that you've got to train providers. Okay, so the seven hospitals that we are talking about are where we have managed to train providers, and also the 47 lower level facilities, which are from health center to
the big hospital. So, and this is not just Kampala, I'm hoping.
No, it's not just Kampala. It's not just Kampala. We are actually in Rukunjiri district, in Kalongo, that is in Agago district.
Okay.
Yeah, we are in Kamuli. So we've tried to sample generally all over the different sides of the country.
Tell me the need to bring such methods to the low-income earner, to the woman in the village who that might not even have, come to mind. All she knows is she will have a child and another child and another child. Have you seen the importance and the value of bringing this down to that woman?
Yeah, true. You see, for a long time, we've really tried to promote family planning in general, but we've remained with that gap. There's the unmet need for family planning has remained high. We are still talking about of 28%, and the target for the country is to move up to 10%. By 2020.
Yes.
So we see that the integration of the fertility awareness methods into other family planning methods. And the fertility awareness methods we are talking about here actually are approved by WHO. They are effective, they are modern, because they actually meet the criteria for a family planning method to be modern. Okay, so these methods are very easy for women to learn and use. Okay, they are side effects free, they are safe, and so we are seeing that a number of women are actually getting interested into taking up the fertility awareness methods, because it's very easy to cancel them in, and also it's easy for them to use.
Even cost-wise, are we
even cost-wise, it is actually very economical. It is very economical because, for example, if you are talking about the standard days method, which is one of the methods that we are promoting, all the woman need is a pack of a cycle bead, okay? And in the moment she masters how to use this, okay?
She's done. There's
she's
no
done.
more going
she's
back
done.
and forth
Probably
to the hospital.
this is actually very...
Yeah, I want us to get into that when we really break down.
Okay.
It's interesting. But
yes.
So you've talked, okay, cost, we've sorted that. It, for a low-income earner, the woman, she can be able to access it.
It's
now,
true.
there's also social and behavioral change communication. And I know the government, in trying to implement or improve access to family planning, said that one of their biggest problems, or where they need to put some money and focus and resources, is in the changing of mindsets. You know, our women and men are not very open to family planning.
Yes.
Do you find this issue?
Not so directly, but one thing we see generally with the natural methods, it has a natural way of opening communication between couples.
Okay.
And actually in the areas where we've done this implementation, we see that there is very strong support from the men. It brings men on board.
Let's talk about that question. When you're explaining these natural methods,
yes.
is it just me or my husband should be present?
We emphasize that it's good for you to be with your husband, you know, to give the counseling to a couple.
Yes.
But if the lady comes on her own and says, well, I'll be able to explain this to my husband,
yes.
we go ahead and give her the counseling.
Explain it to her.
Yes.
And before we get into explaining the types of it, is family planning... because I think people have always said that, you know, you in African society, you can't count for me how many children I'm going to have. If I'm going to have 10, I'm going to have 10.
Yes.
But then there's also an issue where a woman says that physically, I can't go on. After my 2-3 children, I would prefer to not go on. But then you have the husband maybe not understanding the value of that. And do you not really agree with, but do you see as a case where, or do you not even deal with that, where a woman will say, I will do this for myself? My husband doesn't need to be in the know of this. Now,
when it comes to the fertility awareness method, it's so difficult for the woman to use the method alone.
It has to be...
you've got to come to a consensus. You have to agree. You have to talk. You cannot say you are going to... okay, the children I've had is enough. It's about the two of you. Are they enough yet? Are they enough?
For both of you or for just you?
So if you say it's just going to be you alone, it's not going to work. If you're going to use the natural method and you're going to say you're going to use it alone, it's not going to work. You've got to bring your husband on board and you've got to agree and communicate. But the beauty with the natural methods, you can use it for as long as you wish to. To postpone the pregnancy. Okay, so some of the issues we have with the methods that are not natural, if I can say that, are things like, you know, the hormones. You know, my body will change. I'm putting something into my body. So the natural methods, you said no side effects. I'm finding it hard to see anything that has no side effects in the world. You know, Janet, it's too good to be true. There's no side effects. Yeah, the methods basically depend on the natural occurrence into your body. Okay. So the natural family planning, the way they are classified, okay, they are actually based on the natural occurrence of in a woman's body that indicates to her the days when she can be fertile or not, but also they are calculated days, you know, the days that have been calculated and demarcated as safe and unsafe days. Okay. But all these methods have been, you know, published after a lot of research has been, okay, so it can't just be one method. So tell us how many methods are included in natural family planning. So there are several methods of natural family planning, but today, and really throughout the project, we've been promoting basically 3 methods that have been recognized by WHO as the modern methods of family planning, and have also been urged to be integrated into the methods so that actually we can increase options for women to choose from. So the three methods, we have the standard days method, which actually uses the cycle bead.
Oh, so it's called standardized
It's
method.
called the standard days method.
Standard days.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes, yes.
So from the pack, I'm seeing a calendar.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I'm also seeing beads and something else in there. I'm not quite sure.
There's a ring.
A ring.
There's a ring.
Right,
just,
right.
A spare ring, actually. A spare ring.
A spare ring.
Yeah.
So these beads, do we know the material they're made from? So, or it's just we don't need to put them anywhere in the body. So they don't. It doesn't matter.
You don't need to put it on the body.
So it doesn't matter really the material then.
The material doesn't matter.
Okay. So there's a ring actually on the beads.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So talk to me. This is, I'm not sure what happens with this and the calendar.
So the bead basically is a tool
right.
which is used with the method, the standard days method.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you look at this ring, it comes in different colors.
Okay.
It is made so simple that all the woman needs to do is interpret the colors.
There's a white, there's dark brown.
There's a white. So the white bead are the days which are fertile days. So these are the days when conception
you can
occur.
get pregnant,
exactly.
in other words. Okay.
Exactly.
So there's,
and then there are the brown days. Okay, so these are days which are safe days or the infertile days.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have the red bead, which actually stands for the first day of when a woman sees her period. Okay. Yes.
So that's the first day you see your period.
Yes.
And then you count from there on.
So every day, all she needs to do is move the ring to the next bead. You get it?
Janet, I see one side has more brown than the rest. So which way do I go?
The bead comes with you when you look at it.
If you can just point to the camera so we can see.
Okay, we have an arrow which shows you the direction to which we can actually move the ring.
I'll try and find the arrow. Oh, there you go. Yes, it is there.
So every day, what the woman does is she moves the ring to the next bead.
Oh, it's the ring that you move?
Yeah, you move the ring.
Okay.
So the first day when she starts her period, she puts the ring on a red bead, and then she also marks onto the calendar.
On the calendar, which is, the calendar is actually in the pack.
Yes.
Yes. And this calendar doesn't change? Okay.
No, the calendar actually, what we have right now, goes up to 2019.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
So she can use it for that long, and when it expires, then we can, she can get another.
Okay. Yeah. So you were saying you move the beads.
So every day she moves the ring to the next bead.
Yes.
Okay. And the reason why she marks the first day on the calendar is just to help her to, just in case she forgets to move the ring, she can then go back to the calendar and cross-check.
Right. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. And then so you keep going until.
So every day she moves the ring. When the ring is on any of the brown beads, Flavia, any of the brown beads, these are the days when she is safe. She cannot conceive. So when the ring then reaches the white beads, these are the days when she is potentially fertile.
Okay.
And so she can conceive, just in case. So now this method actually works for women whose cycles are regular.
I was about to tell you,
exactly.
Janet, you can't be too sure with these things.
It works for,
this is where accidents happen.
It works for women whose cycles are regular, and then the cycles also should range between 26 and 32 days of length. So any woman whose cycle...
Just explain to those who might not really understand cycle. Because we've been using cycle, bead, cycle.
So when you talk about a menstrual cycle...
It's not the days you are having your period.
No. It's part of the menstrual cycle. Okay. So the menstrual cycle, you count from the first day when you start your period just to the day before you start the next period.
Okay.
So that's a complete cycle.
Yes. Okay, so that's the cycle we're talking about, which is ideally what this represents, to be honest. Yeah. So if you are having between 26
and 32,
then that's what?
Then that's you qualify to use the standard days method.
But that doesn't sound like it's assured, because you're saying between this and between
exactly
that.
The fluctuation should be within that range.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
so
it shouldn't go outside that. If then your period comes before, before you
26,
before you reach the 27th day.
Okay, 27th day.
You get it.
Again, you see, Janet, if we're here having issues in determining these things, imagine the woman at home.
Exactly.
Okay. So if today 27, tomorrow 28, tomorrow 30, you're still safe.
Yeah, you're okay. You're fine.
What is the consistency for you to know that I'm now having a regular cycle? 3 months? Are you monitoring it over 6 months? Are you monitoring over 2 months?
Incidentally, a number of women actually know already how their cycle the pattern
Flows,
of the cycle. And there are those who will tell you, oh, mine sometimes takes a very, after 21 days I see my period. Others tell you, oh, after 32 days I see my period. But what is most important for you to be able to use this method is that you should be sure that actually you will get your period. Any fluctuation shouldn't get outside this range. If you get it on the 27th day, that's fine, okay? If it comes on the 28th day, that's okay, okay? You get it? Okay. Yes. If it goes up to, you know, beyond 32 and even on the 33rd, I mean, when you should be starting a new cycle, the period has not yet started, and really that is a long cycle, and this wouldn't be the appropriate method.
Yes, but I'm saying that if that long cycle happens July, and that's the only maybe different month, and we all know that your body changes through different reasons.
Yeah, so if it happens once in a year, it's
you're not using the beads.
If it happens at most, it happens twice in a year, then that's quite risky. I wouldn't advise you to use this as a method.
Oh, just twice?
Yeah, it happened more than twice, then twice or more than twice, then you cannot use this.
What does that mean? Why is it that
it means actually then your fertile days could either be, you know, within the brown beads, or
is that less or more? You could have less fertile or more fertile days.
So if it comes before the 26th,
for example,
it comes before the 26th day,
that means you have
then chances are high that you have a short cycle.
Short cycle.
The word is short cycle.
Yes.
Means you have a short cycle. So chances are high that actually some of the days that we are, the bead will show you that they are safe, could be fertile days.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Okay. And then if you have a longer cycle?
And if you have a longer cycle, also it may come up to around some of the beads this other side.
So this is only designed, in other words, for those who
cycles are regular. Yes.
Who obviously monitor them through this. And since you have a calendar, you've jotted down and all of that. So also, is this valuable if I'm going to my doctor and we're trying to have a child and we have failed, but my cycle is still going in the ring, it's fine? Do I still present this data for them?
Yeah, this is very good actually. You know, it's the bead, the woman can actually use this bead just to track her cycle, to know her body. Yeah. And the beauty with it is that it empowers you to actually get to know your body. And not just the standard days method, generally fertility awareness methods.
Okay, so you had said there were 3 that you were highlighting.
Yeah. So that is one. That is the standard days
so
method.
Again, I need to call it standardized because I'll keep calling it Psycho Beads. Psycho Beads is the product.
Yeah, Psycho Beads is the
But the method is called standardized. And women are using this standardized method?
The standard days method.
Standard days method. And women are using this?
Yes.
What is the feedback so far?
Oh, women are happy, and you know, a number of men actually are helping the women to move this ring. It's a tool that aids communication.
Yes.
Yeah. So sometimes even when they do not physically come for the counseling, this helps the women to easily, you know, communicate about the method of family planning they've now chosen.
So, you know, because this looks like it's a conversation like how we're sitting to explain to me, because we saw it didn't take 2 seconds. I had to go through it. So I'm concerned because they were saying that especially in health service delivery, someone was saying that we need to train. You say training, and I was glad you said it.
Yeah.
But you said you're in Rukunjiri, you're in Agago, you're where? Is the training also that I can use my local language to communicate to my service provider?
Exactly. We actually have materials that also have been translated into the local language. Right. Yes. So women are being counseled in their local languages, and they can. And by the way, we even have VHTs who have been trained to give this. It's so easy, like I told you. Very easy. Okay. Yeah.
So this is method 1, the standard days method.
Yes.
What are the other 2? Sorry.
So the second method is the 2 days method. The 2 days method, which basically uses the cervical secretion as a sign of fertility.
Okay.
Yeah. So the cervical secretion is a very smart indicator of fertility. And a number of women, if you have not yet been told, do not actually know that in the menstrual cycle there is a time when a woman experiences this kind of secretion.
Yeah.
And it's actually a very good indicator that
I think most
she's now in
women,
the fertile.
some might use it to know if they're healthy or not,
Yes.
if something is wrong with your body or not. I did not
Exactly.
realize you can actually use it for that.
It is a very smart indicator of fertility.
So which are the 2 days in the cycle?
So-
Which
so-
are the 2
so-
days in the cycle?
So the 2 days method is a very simplified, I should say, you know, we had the Billings ovulation method, which was quite, has quite a number of rules. So the 2 days method then is a much simplified method
Right.
of using the cervical secretions. So all the woman needs to do is keep record of her secretion in the past 2 days. It is based on the life cycle of the egg, you know. When the egg is released, it lives for at most 24 hours and then it's dead and gone.
Okay.
But in the menstrual cycle, okay, when the secretions start, okay, all the woman needs to do is
Am I noting
observe
down?
the secretions and take note. So we
Yes.
give them calendars where they
Oh,
can
okay, because I was going to
actually,
tell you how will I keep my notes.
so we give them calendars where they can actually note their secretions.
And what am I noting down? Clear, not
She's
clear?
noting what she observes.
Okay, okay.
So she can see blood.
So color
when
change?
she is actually in her menses. And we use very simple colors. Very simple colors. You don't need to write color change. That's a very hard one. So all she does
I
is...
like that you simplify things. You don't have to write color change.
So all she does is make a dark dot in her calendar. Okay, so we
Okay.
have the calendar. So if she sees, she starts a period and she's seeing the blood, she puts a dark color here.
Okay,
And
simple.
then when she doesn't see any secretions, there are times when you actually not feel anything or see anything, okay? So then she just puts a 0. There's nothing I have seen
okay.
here, okay?
Yes.
Then when she sees the secretion, she marks an X in her calendar.
Right.
Okay.
Simple.
So every day, all she needs to do is ask herself 2 simple questions.
Yes.
Have I seen secretions today? Okay.
So that's a
That's the
dark.
first question. So if she
Well,
has
dark is for
seen...
menses.
Dark is for menses.
So the X is the one
the
I have
X
seen
is the one you are
secretion.
asking if you have
Okay.
seen, okay?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great.
So you ask yourself, have I seen secretions today?
That's it, and then you note.
Yes, and if the secretions are present, you are in your fertile period. You get it, okay?
Okay.
So if the answer is a no, then you've got to ask a second question. Did I see them yesterday? Okay.
Yes.
So
you have to note your body.
Exactly.
You have to keep
But
tabs
the
of your body
beauty
as a
is
woman.
the answer for yesterday comes from your calendar. You don't need to stress yourself with keeping all
Yes.
the answer is
Just
in
look
the
back at your calendar and not how
Exactly.
everything has been
Yeah.
flowing. So
So-
we've talked about the standard days method.
Yes.
We've talked about the,
The
2 day
days
method. What's the
yes.
third?
And then the lactational amenorrhea method, that is the
Lactation.
yeah,
brings
or
me to
you
thinking
can
mothers.
can simply say the exclusive breastfeeding, which
Okay.
works for the first six months after delivery. And
Then does
the
it
baby-
really work?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. I thought I've heard women complain. Some.
By the lactational amenorrhea method is very effective for the first 6 months, but the 3 criteria must stand.
Okay.
That the baby is exclusively breastfeeding. Okay.
So just
that-
breast milk and nothing else.
Nothing else. Okay. So no fluids, no solids. It's given to the baby.
Fluids,
It's
you mean I
only
can't
breast
give them
milk,
water, I can't give them anything
except if it's medication.
else? Okay.
Yeah.
So
But the
for
breast milk
if
is
you
sufficient.
breastfeed your child exclusively
Exclusively
for 6 months,
for the 6
you
months.
are safe in the 6 months, not after.
That is breastfeeding. Now the 3 conditions must
So
hold.
one is the
You are
baby is exclusively.
The baby is still below 6 months. You are
Okay.
exclusively breastfeeding, and of course your menses have not yet returned. Yeah.
So I think some women
So-
might
so-
not be ticking all of these boxes and saying it doesn't
It's
work.
true. And when you talk about exclusive breastfeeding, we are talking about some standard frequency. You know, after about 2 to 3 hours, at least you put the baby onto the nipple, because this constant stimulation of the nipple is
Oh.
actually what delays ovulation.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
in our best interest to breastfeed after every
Very.
4 hours.
Your best interest, but it's also very good for the baby.
For the baby,
Yes.
of course, of course. The reason why we're doing it anyway is for the baby. So this
True.
is secondary. It's
Yes.
us benefiting later.
Yeah.
So if
It
anyone has used this method of exclusive breastfeeding as natural family planning
Yeah.
and gotten pregnant, it means ideally, Janet, they did not check all the other boxes.
Chances are very high that actually there was laxity somewhere.
They said today that the baby drink
Yeah.
or eat something else.
Yeah, for example.
And that's where it happened.
Yeah, for example, if you've got to run to work, you know, maybe the maternity leave period have actually come to an end.
So the hours of breastfeeding as well.
That actually ceases to be the method for you.
Really?
You've got to
even if the child still takes breast milk.
Yes. Chances are high that actually you can return to
and
fertility.
Most women, of course, maternity leave is what, 3 months? So you're still, that window is not yet safe. Oh, wow. It's always good to get information, I'm telling you, Janet. Yes. Before I let you go, any final words for someone who's watching and has heard of these methods, maybe wants to now have access to them and thinks the natural way is the best way? Yeah.
So actually, I like to thank NTV so much for giving us the opportunity to be able to let the community know that now we have modern methods which are very effective, very easy to learn, and very economical to use. They are safe with no side effects, and they are accessible in our facilities that are spread throughout the country, and we are confident that we are confident that we shall actually be able probably to have all the UCMB facilities promoting these methods, because our facilities are spread all over the country. And so the more we have these providers trained to provide these methods, it will be very good for our country, very good for generally to contribute to family planning at large.
Right. So it is in our best interest to improve access to family planning, because at the end of the day it's low cost and helps the population and the economy in general. And you were saying it's true, they want 10%. The use of family planning.
Yeah, unmet need to be reduced to 10% by 2020.
Yes, and at least the access to 50% of women by 2020. I was shocked those are the numbers.
It's true.
I was hoping we're more than that. But so those are natural family planning methods. There's the standard days method. There's a 2-day method, and that was a long one. Lactational
Amenorrhea method, or you can call it
exclusive breastfeeding.
Yes.
So depending on where you are, and you can go to any of the UCM, which is Uganda Catholic Medical Bureau, UCMB.
Yes.
You said you're in different hospitals or centers, health centers. So if you need that information, you can get it. And we're saying the natural way has no side effects. So if you want to use family planning but are looking for a more natural method, these are some of the methods you can actually use. You're still watching Morning at NTV. We'll be right back.